Hey people, Ksilisab here. Welcome to my orbiter. Today I'm going to be talking about Kuva farming, and I'm going to be talking about it because it's really important to me, and that's pretty much the only thing I do in Warframe. And yeah, hopefully somebody from Digital Extreme sees this video and accepts my proposition to make Kuva farming a little bit more enjoyable. So yeah, look at my extensive collection of Riven mods. See, I roll things to no avail. This thing has 47 rolls on it, and that's when I decided to stop. I have no idea how much Kuva is in 47 rolls, but it's a lot. And there are many Rivens that I've rolled to absurd amounts. So that means I farm Kuva a whole lot, much more than most people. So I got something to say about that. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing a presentation for you. So yeah, sit tight. Alright, welcome to the presentation area. This is how we're gonna do it. See that panel light right there? That's gonna be the place where you're gonna see things. Alright, let's start with me talking about Kuva farming. I am a boy that really likes Riven mods, and I farmed Kuva for hundreds and hundreds of hours. That's pretty much the only thing I do these days. I buy a Riven mod for a weapon I like, or I buy a Riven mod if I see profit in re-rolling it, and then I farm the absolute fuck out of Kuva. So that's what I do. That's what many people do, actually, because it's kind of fun. Well, the rolling part is fun, the farming part not so much. And what I would do is I would make the absolute most efficient and optimized builds for farming the absolute most Kuva possible out of every mission. So I would have these methods and ways of getting as much Kuva for my time as possible. So one of the best methods for getting a lot of Kuva fast was called friend boosting, and that was being able to pretty much do multiple Kuva floods at the same hour. So for example, when you do a Kuva flood and you finish it, you are no longer you're no longer able to click on the mission, right? The Kuva flood until the new hour comes and the Kuva flood resets. They basically reset every hour at like 5:05, 6:05, 7:05, you know. And yeah, you can do them once per hour. But before Kuva boosting was nerfed, you could do 10 Kuva floods in the same hour. Depending on how many friends you have that are willing to take you to their Kuva flood. And that was really fast and efficient. But now they removed it, they nerfed it, so you're no longer able to do that. So now we're left with 1 Kuva flood per hour and a bunch of Kuva siphons and Kuva survival. So what I do these days is I complete my Kuva flood, and then I go do the Kuva survival however long it takes for a new Kuva flood to spawn. And that is pretty much the way I do it these days. And it's very slow. It's sort of painful. So here's a way to make Kuva survival much better than it is right now. Right now, Kuva survival is slower than doing Kuva siphons only. So it's pretty slow. And the most elegant solution to that I personally came up with is pretty much scaling Kuva, and very slowly scaling Kuva, but scaling Kuva nonetheless. So here's how it works. I'm going to start off with telling you exactly how a Kuva survival works, and then I'm going to tell you about the solution. So when you start a Kuva survival, every 90 seconds you get a new Kuva extractor or a life support module, however you want to look at it. Basically, it spawns every 90 seconds. So if you spend 1 hour in the mission, you get 40 extractors. And each extractor gives you 200 Kuva. So you get 40 extractors in 1 hour. Multiply that by 200. In 1 hour, you will get 8,000 Kuva if you are running the mission with no booster and no Ksilisab. If you're running a booster, of course, it's going to be 16,000. And maybe like 18 to 20,000 if you're running a Ksilisab and the boy is putting out, alright? He's putting in work. If he puts in work, lucky you, but usually he doesn't. I'm looking at you, Wiggles. Anyways, the current amount of Kuva that we get from Kuva survivals is slightly too low. It's honestly pathetic. So the solution to that is add 5 Kuva on every subsequent Kuva extractor. So if I worded that right, it's basically like this. You start off at 200 Kuva. Then the next extractor gives 205. The next 210, and so on. So yeah, it's a really slow scaling method, but within 1 hour, your extractor would scale so much it gives you 400 Kuva. So yeah, it's pretty good. So if you run it for 1 hour, you would get 12,000 instead of 8,000. And if you run a booster, 24,000 instead of 16,000. So that's pretty juicy, isn't it? But it's still not that overpowered. It's still a little bit slow. The only time it would kick into gear and actually become efficient and get you Kuva fast is if you can withstand the extremely high level enemies that come after 60 minutes of play and beyond. So if you run for 2 hours in the Kuva survival, and I commend you if you do, it's not easy. The enemy levels are in the hundreds and they become one-shot machines, and considering the Kuva extractor has only 400 health, it's really difficult to maintain its safety, if that's what I'm trying to say. Yes, it's not easy. So if you run for 2 hours, you would get 32,000 Kuva instead of 16,000 without a booster. And if you run a booster, 64,000 instead of 32,000. So at the 2 hour mark, pretty much you would get the same amount of Kuva without a booster compared to the normal Kuva method that we have, the Kuva survival that we have with a booster. So the 2 hour mark is where these lines in this graph intersect, as you can see right here. So yeah, running the Kuva survival for 2 hours is going to be near impossible because you would need a really, really devoted team to do that, and you all need to know exactly what you're doing, and you all need to maintain stable connections. So this scaling Kuva method is not too overpowered. It's not going to give you too much Kuva, which is the thing that DE doesn't want. So yeah, DE, if you're watching right now, please consider this method. It looks pretty elegant, and on paper, don't you see how simple the solution is? If you want to tweak these values, of course, you can edit the starting Kuva. You can edit all kinds of things like the additional Kuva per extractor thing to make it scale in the way you see it's balanced. But let's be honest, you guys at D, you probably don't play the game, so you kind of, it's debatable whether or not you guys are gonna know what is a balanced amount of Kuva per time. So yeah, guys, please consider this method. I give you the graphs and the numbers on paper and everything, and please consider it. Let's see if it's something that should be implemented. I know a lot of people that love Riven mods like I do will support this idea. If you guys want to add something to this proposition, you can of course do that. You can tell me if you like it or don't like it in the comments below. I'm always gonna read every comment like I do already. So yeah, tell me what you think of this thing, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the end of the presentation. Alright, so that was it. I hope you enjoyed that. It was really nasty to edit. I'm just finishing up the video now, and damn, that was a lot of editing. I don't think I want to edit all the time like this. To you, it may not seem as like much, but damn, I was planning and struggling and doing all kinds of things. But anyways, here's the deal. Everybody's asking me when is that goddamn hot dog review? When is the fitness channel? Man, I gotta tell you, it's so much anxiety. I don't know how to tell you. I can't get myself to do a thing live, and my camera woman is not available to me at all times as well. So it's like I find excuses not to record with her just because I'm anxious about it. You know, I'm a little bit spooked by it. But One day I'll do it. So please just be a little bit patient. I'm gonna get it done. You can trust in your boy. Goodbye. This was me filling out my 10 minutes. You know, you gotta respect the hustle. So goodbye.